ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Jameis Winston is leading off this show. Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's Mazzi. No live zone. I'm doing it solo, doing my thing. I'm glad you're with me. Week 14 in the NFL. We got great division matchups. We got great matchups across the league. We have great division clinching scenarios, division deciding scenarios going down. We also have the college football playoff 12 team to talk about. We're sliding college in here. And of course, we're ending it with the picks of the week for this NFL Week 14. Let's get right into it. We're kicking it off with Jameis Winston. Oh boy, the Cleveland Browns quarterback. Okay, you know, Jameis, I love him personally, man. He gets me going. I'll run through a wall for this guy, okay? His motivational speaking, his leadership, and just what he says just gets me going. You don't know if he's going to find the end of the sentence when he's halfway through it, but goddamn, he finds that quote and that inspiration and puts it on you. I love the guy. Now, Brown's situation, of course, they had Deshaun Watson. He went down. Jameis has stepped into the role. We got Jameis Winston back starting in the NFL, and is this something that is sustainable? Is Jameis Winston a starting quarterback in the NFL? You know, let's dive into some stats. We look at Jameis Winston, okay. He is a top 100 touchdown passer in the NFL, and he's a top 100 yards in his career. But let's look at what he does in a season for his team, of course, famously known for the 30-30 year where he threw over 30 touchdown passes, as well as threw 30 interceptions. Very few people have ever done that. But Jameis Winston, what you're going to get from the guy is hot or cold. It's no way around it. He's played 5 games this year. He's 2-3 so far. He's beaten 2 division opponents, played up to their level. He hasn't played any teams. He's only played 1 team with a losing record so far this year since he stepped in. He's 2-0 versus his tough division opponents and 0-3 against everybody else that he plays. I mean, it's really hot or cold. He throws for 3 TDs in 1 game, 0 interceptions, comes back, throws a touchdown, but throws 3 interceptions. Next game, throws 2 touchdowns, no picks. Then comes out last week in Denver, and oh my God, 4 TDs, 3 interceptions in the game, almost 500 yards, still loses the game. It encapsulates everything that Jameis Winston is. He can lead a show, put it on for the people, make it pop, but just can't get the job done when it comes down to winning. He might win 1 or 2 of the crazy ones, but overall, it's not going to happen. You know, all that being said, he can sell a ticket, okay? He can, you know, take that with you as you want. If I was a bottom tier team in the league, I'd want, and I was rebuilding, I'd want Jameis Winston as my quarterback to sell a ticket out there. You know, at least we're going to be in some games that maybe we weren't going to be in. It's going to be fun for the fans. It's going to be fun for everybody. You might get lucky, but there's probably 5 to 7 quarterbacks right now I'd take Jameis Winston above that are starting in the NFL. And realistically, he's a great backup. But as a starter in the NFL, personally for me, I don't think it's a starter for a team that you can win a championship with. Unfortunately, as much as I love the man, I love everything about him. He's come a long way from the crab legs days, stealing out of the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? But I love Jameis Winston. Do I think he should be a starting quarterback in the NFL? No, I do not. And resume and stats, but he is, and he's going to continue to play for the Cleveland Browns this year. So we'll see what's to come. What's to come for us? Well, we got another matchup to talk about in the NFL. We're moving on to the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions going down in Motown, Detroit. Detroit playing meaningful games in December is news that the Lions fans and franchisees like to hear. Okay? They're playing meaningful games. They're on top of the NFC, for God's sake. 11-1 over the Eagles with Saquon and Jalen Hurts going crazy. Over Minnesota and Sam Darnold cooking with Jay Jefferson out there, and the running back, I'm blanking on the name. I can't believe that right now. Aaron Jones, there it is for me. Over them, over Green Bay, and those two teams, Minnesota and Green Bay, are in their division. So Lions can't really take a breath, and Green Bay on the other side being the opponent for the Lions. Not a scrub in any way, shape, or form. 9-3 on the year. Big implications for this game. It's division implications. There's playoff implications, bragging rights, and a historical background. I mean, it goes back forever. Number 2 and 3 ranked offenses in the league. It's going to be a crazy game, all right? Packers coming in. Jordan Love, of course. Josh Jacobs on the running side. You know they have a nice receiving core. Jerry Goff on Detroit, David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameis Williams. I mean, it's going to be an offensive game. I was a little surprised the line was at 51 today when I looked at it, because the Packers are averaging 26.5 points per game. Detroit averaging 31.5. It is a division game, so I think they think it might be tighter. I think this game is going to be wide open of a game. I think Jared Goff's going to air it out. I think Jordan Love's going to air it out. I think the defenses are going to be playing tough in there, but just not being able to stop anybody from scoring. I think it's going to be back-to-back. Definitely not going to come down to field goals in my eyes. It may come down to a last-second field goal, but I don't think field goals throughout the game. I think it's touchdowns throughout the game. I think the over is definitely going to hit. Now, this game means a lot for the rest of the season. Okay, Green Bay has some division games left. Minnesota has some division games left. Detroit has some division games left. Detroit's schedule remaining is not an easy task. You throw Buffalo in there with Minnesota and Green Bay and the 2 other teams. I mean, realistically, they could get 3 losses in those games. Those are tough games coming up. Green Bay, of course, having just as tough as a schedule in Minnesota and Detroit, as well as playing San Fran in there and a couple other teams that might give them a run. But Green Bay, if they could rattle off, I think they need to rattle off 4 wins at least to win this division, which is saying a lot. I think Lions get 13 wins on the season this year. I'm not sure how. I think Minnesota ends up around 12. So Green Bay definitely needs to win this game to think about winning this division. It's going to be a stretch. The Lions are tough, but it's the toughest time of the schedules for everybody, it seems. Green Bay, Lions, put it in front of me. Who am I picking? Detroit at home, Green Bay on the road. Jordan Love, Jared Goff. Going Lions. Dan Campbell. I just like the offense. I love the structure. I love the fan base. I love what they bring to the table. I think they're ready to play this game. I think they know that they got to punch these guys in the mouth and got to shut them up because they're trying to come up from out of the grave, and you just got to push them back in. Throw some more dirt on it. Kick them back in. Lions tonight. I'm thinking it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Give me a 33-27 game in favor of the Lions. I'm gonna ride it with some bets. Okay, check out investors to find those lines, to find those bets. Subscribe, get picks. All right. We're going to move forward with another matchup in the NFL with division implications and playoff implications on the line. But first, we're going to hop over to our friends at Atlanta Steaks. Hear from them real quick.
Yourself a merry little Christmas night. And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
We're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Shout out to Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Holiday deal going on. Go get you some. Ordered some. We're hopping back into it. It's Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. You may think, didn't they just play? Yes, they did. 2 games in 3 weeks between these two, home and home. Seattle winning at home last time, 6-16 in a hard-fought battle. Not a lot of offense, a defensive pick 6, and a lot of flops in the red zone by the Arizona Cardinals. Now we fast forward week 14, and it's down in Arizona. The Seahawks are coming to play. This is a division game, and let me say, Seattle 7-5, Arizona 6-6. It's gonna be heated. This is for the division, I believe. If Seattle wins this game, I believe Seattle is winning this division come end of year. If the Cardinals win this game, the Rams are in it, the Cardinals are in it, and the Seattle Seahawks are in it, and it's going to be fun. You might be saying, Kyle, what about the San Francisco 49ers? You might also be saying, oh, I haven't watched the show before, so that's why I'm asking that. Because the past 2 weeks I've been saying since the Niners were 5-5, they are going 0-5 through their next 5 games, and they will end up with 10 losses on the year. So far, 2 down, 3 to go. We'll see where it ends up. But we're talking about Seattle and Arizona right now, and this match is going to be fun. So Arizona in the last matchup, 0-4 in the red zone, 2 field goals, 1 missed field goal. If they score 2 touchdowns if they score those field goals and miss field goals, that's your difference. Okay? There's not more you cut it down to except you need to convert when you're in the red zone. They were on the 4-yard line for 4 plays against Seattle. They got 0 yards. They did not know how to score. It's Kyler Murray. They know how to get chunk yardage all up and down the field on people, but I've seen this week and week again. They just don't know how to get a touchdown in the end zone. James Conner, 7 rushes for 8 yards. Okay, yes, he had his receiving yards. He's going to get that. He's a threat out the backfield to run off to the side, run the wheel, and catch it deep. All right, he can do that, but he also needs to show that explosive James Conner splitting through the holes and getting 10, 15 yards. Okay, if he's not doing that, they can circle around Kyler Murray. They know it. They're coming, and he's just firing it down the field, hoping, McBride having over 130 yards, and they still can't get it done. I mean, this offense should be way better than 6-6. You got McBride, Harrison Jr., Dortch even on there. Kyler Murray who can run, then James Conner who can catch and run. It's very frustrating for this team to be 6-6 and always lose these games that they should win. Another prime example was last week against Minnesota for this Arizona Cardinals team. They were 23-12 with about 8 minutes left. They lose 24-23, I believe, or 23-22. It might have been 22-12. Regardless, you're up by 2 scores with 8 minutes left in the game, and you blow the lead because you can't get first downs. You can't get any offense going. You can't convert in the red zone, and you kick field goals. They kicked 3 drives in a row to the red zone and had 3 field goals in that game. It's got to be fixed, okay? Could this be the week for it? I don't know. Back at home after some tough road games, maybe it's exactly what the doctor ordered. But on the other side, you have the Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith, Metcalf, Smith. I mean, just come on. It's Kenneth Walker, okay? Like Charbonnet, Their offensive line's better. Their defense is better at the end of the day, too, for Seattle. I think they hold themselves in the game way better than any Arizona defense is doing it. So if you're putting it up for Arizona hasn't been converting in the red zones. Arizona's kicking field goals. Seattle's playing tough on defense. They're getting pick sixes. Like, Geno Smith is doing this thing with his legs and passing and not losing the games for Seattle as well. Their time management is good. Their clock management, their game play scenario is good. I'm not seeing that from the Cardinals in any way, shape, or form. Live Zone and I have been saying this for a couple of weeks as well. So you're telling me I got to pick Seattle with all this good going on and Arizona with all this bad going on. It's a classic NFL matchup, right? My smart mind is telling me go Cardinals because what's broken has to be fixed at some point. But I'm going Seattle. I've been high on Seattle all season. Since the beginning of the year, I thought they'd be in the conversation for some things and be spoiler to something, not necessarily Super Bowl caliber team, but a fun team that could disrupt the flow of everything to the playoffs. So give me the Seattle Seahawks over the Arizona Cardinals. I see Seattle putting up around 24. I see Arizona not being able to score again, getting one touchdown, breaking it a little bit, but most field goals. See it 24-16. Kyler Murray throwing an interception late in the game to lose it. And Seattle will go to 8-5, while Arizona will go to 6-7. And then it becomes a Seattle's division to lose. And watch out for the Rams, might end up second place or vying with them. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun, and I'm going to be watching it on TV this Sunday. You know it. All right. You know what else is going down? You know what else is fun? The college football playoff. All right. We've moved it to 12 teams. It was 4. Sorry, that's 21. Let's go this way. That's 12. Okay. College football playoffs is here, and it's a 12-team race. And there's already a lot of controversy. Miami doesn't make the playoff. Cam Ward losing that game to Syracuse costs you your chance. Okay, the gunslinger. I personally would have put Miami in there over Alabama just because of the Cam Ward situation. But that's regardless. I'm not on the committee. That's why I'm not there. All right. Now you see Notre Dame's in there. Ohio State's in there. We also got Oregon, top seed, undefeated. You know how it goes. All right. Teams to watch out. Boise State also in there. Arizona State sliding in there. Could play spoiler. There's a lot of teams in there. There's a lot of teams in there that can do anything, and we know anything can be done any given night in the college football playoffs. All right? I want everybody to remember that we have a Georgia team that is ranked pretty low, in my opinion, for what they can do. I understand they're not playing to their level they have in the past, but that roster is still dangerous. That team is still capable of playing both sides of the ball at any given time, at any given moment, whenever called upon, and is not afraid to play these big-time schools, going to an Oregon. You know, they've played in these games against Alabama. They've played in these games against LSU. They've played in these games in the playoff as well. Some of these teams never played a playoff game. They expanded it so they could have a taste of it, okay? Watch out for Georgia moving forward in this college football playoffs, okay? That's my pick to run it, okay? Whatever this seeding may be, because I know they haven't solidified seeding. I also like Notre Dame in this if they can keep it going. But a 10-game, shout out Notre Dame for the 10-game win streak after that terrible loss. But I don't know. I don't really like when teams go in on a streak of 10 games in a row into the playoffs. It's all promoted, all this stuff. Then they go and lay an egg, maybe round 1, round 2, who knows. Got Texas in there as well as another team that's looking strong. I mean, it's going to be a fun time. I'm loving that they expanded that. I can't say that enough. It actually feels like playoffs. Like I used to watching college football and feel like, yeah, it's bowl season. Like it's kind of their playoffs, but now it's like they have a playoff. This is it. This is it. So we're loving that. Definitely tuning in. Man, if I didn't like sports, I don't know what I'd be doing. Anyways, we have more sponsors. We have another ad. It's Viva. They're coming at you right now.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot.
Cheers. We're back. Just like that. Shout out Viva. All right. It's my favorite time of the day in the pod, in the live. I hope it's yours too. We're getting down to the NFL picks of week 14. Oh man, here we go. Obviously, we have the Thursday night game going down. If you're here with me live right now, going down about 40 minutes is probably when that kickoff will happen. We've already discussed the game. I see it being a great game. Give me the Lions to win that game 33-27 over the Green Bay Packers on Thursday night. I can't wait to watch. We got to get going here. All right. Come on. Let's move down the list. We're going to kick it off with a Sunday game. You know, bottom of the barrel battle out in Tennessee. The Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Tennessee Titans. Okay. Not a lot to be looking at this. We got Mac Jones going up against Will Levis. And that does not sell tickets in any way, shape, or form. It's just, it's going to be a snooze fest. All right, guys. If I'm looking at it, I have no trust in Mac Jones. I watched him play too many games in New England. Give me the Titans at home to win this game. Probably say 24-20, something around that nature. Moving forward, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going out to Tampa Bay. All right. Let's talk about this. The Las Vegas Raiders are coming off a 17-19 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs that they should have won. Another one that they should have won. They had Denver the week before, should have won that game, okay? Brock Bowers is a savage. Brock Bowers is the man. We talked about it earlier this week. Dude's going crazy. Could be a new Gronk. Live Zone said of Tony Gonzalez. Maybe an Antonio Gates. Either way, that's top 5 tight end ever. Brock Bowers is a savage. They're going up against a Bucs team who played a Panthers team, division rival. Okay, you got to take that into consideration. But Panthers team that they should have lost last week, the Bucs. Okay, the way they played going down the stretch, I'd have bet on it. Up 2013. No, sorry, up 17-13. Last minute drive for Carolina. They drive down 2017, scored touchdown, 30 seconds left. Baker Mayfield goes down, gets a field goal. Boom, tie game, wins it in overtime. I picked the Bucs to win their division because the Atlanta Falcons are a 500 team at best and more likely an 8-9 team. This is a team that they should beat, just like Carolina was. I see another close game here. Raiders have lost a couple close ones. I'm taking the Raiders to win this game, all right? In this one, give me Raiders 28-24 in a fun game, actually. More fun than people expect. Moving right along, we have an aforementioned Atlanta Falcons team, a 500 team with Kirk Cousins at quarterback, visiting the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. I mean, the Sam Darnold train in Minnesota doesn't seem to stop going. It's just going and going and going, okay? We thought maybe week 6, maybe week 8, maybe week 10. Now we're week 12. They're 10-2, okay? Are we going to stop hating on Sam Darnold? Are we going to put some respect on his name or what's going on? Well, I'm going to tell you this. Atlanta lost last week because they had to get back to 500. They've lost 2 in a row. I don't expect the train to continue. I'm taking Atlanta on the road to upset Minnesota. Minnesota played a bad game against Arizona. Almost lost that game. Should have lost that game if it wasn't for last-minute heroics. Give me the Falcons to come in there and punch them in the gut and leave there with a win. Tight game, though. Let me see it. 2017 Atlanta on the road Kyle Pitts, can you get a catch for once in fantasy? You get 0 points all the time. That's my own gripe. Division matchup, Cleveland and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jameis Winston was the topic to start the day today. He's coming back again, okay? He beat the Steelers already, but that was at home in a snow game. Now he's on the road going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is still in need of all the wins it can get. Still got a couple division games left. I think they're back for revenge. Russell Wilson, a savage. If this is a high-flying game, though, between Winston and Russell Wilson, I don't know what we could see. We could see over 1,000 yards passing in this game, potentially, by the quarterbacks that we got in there. Russ is throwing for over 404 TDs, and so is Jameis this year. So who's to say? You know, we had a little defensive battle for the most part in the last game. Let's air it out because let's open it up. There's no snow, nice weather. Let's get it going. I'm taking the Steelers at home in this one. I'm taking some questionable picks previously already in this week. So I'm going to chill for a sec, take the Steelers to beat the Browns as they should in week 14 at home, and move right along to another cash right here. Panthers are visiting the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly, and my golly, this, I don't know what the spread is at the moment. It's going down at the bottom. Here it is. It's 12. I'm taking that over all day. I mean, I've seen what Saquon's done against good teams. If Saquon can get the motor running against this Panthers team, he might put up more than 250. This is going to be more of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry, Bryce Young. I'm sorry, the Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry what's coming for you. A.J. Brown's going to go all over you. Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's just not going to be fun. Eagles defense is also going to have a field day. This is just going to be a brutal beatdown, and I think everybody in the sports world thinks that, which also leads me to think that maybe this is closer, but I'm sticking with this will be a blowout. Okay, give me the Eagles 31-7 over the Panthers. Moving right along, we have a game with really just a football game, okay? It's the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants in New York. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Giants at this point. I think it's Drew Lock. The Saints got Derek Carr, who I'm still waiting to be something of what I thought he could be in the NFL. You know, Dallas, give me Giants at home over the Saints. I just don't believe in either of those teams. I'm staying away from it completely. Now we get into another division matchup that's looking juicy, okay? Jets visiting Miami in Miami. The struggling Jets, the worthless Jets, the Jets that let us all down, that we all have. Against the Miami Dolphins, who kind of have done the same thing, but are just maybe hanging around for something in there. I don't know. They have a chance. They need a lot to go right for them in a short amount of time. Who knows? Tyreek Hill, questionable this week. Tua, who knows? It's every week. You pray that he doesn't get hit. I don't know. I think the Jets will put something together here during this end of the season run. So give me the Jets on the road to beat Miami in Miami. We're moving right along the list of these games that are on my paper. We got Seattle against the Arizona Cardinals. We talked about it earlier. I'm taking Seattle. Arizona does not show up in these games, does not show up in the red zone. James Conner has done nothing. Kyler Murray has done little to overcome all the problems that are happening. The highlight is that receiving core. They're not getting it done. Give me the Seattle on the road. Now, this is a matchup for us, okay? Almost on the level of Packers-Detroit for me. We got Bills-Rams. Why? Bills are top second in the AFC. Rams are not even going to make the playoffs at this point, not even, and kind of in the conversation for their division. Yeah, I get that, but it's the Rams at home. They're coming off a tough loss. They got something to prove right now. They need to win these games to have a shot to make the playoffs. They want to be in their division race. They are going to be seeing Arizona coming back towards them, and they see Seattle going away. They want to go that way, not that way with Arizona. Josh Allen, listen, he's the MVP for Buffalo. I get that. I'm picking Josh Allen all the time. Josh Allen on the road, he's still good, right? I don't know. I'm just not liking the game this week. I'm taking the Rams to upset the Bills this week. That's a hot take. X, that's a hot take. This is the hot take for me. We got a couple more games here to pick from us. We got the Bears and the Niners. A tale of depressing teams, to say the least. Let's look at it for what it is. The Niners had hopes with that roster to be in the playoffs again. They think Purdy's the man to make it happen. It's not the way it's panning out. 5 wins on the season so far. Realistically, see them with 7 wins max on the year, which is just unacceptable for San Francisco vibes. I got it in the background. Shout out to Bay Area. I love y'all. Shout out Jared. Nobody knows who that is, but I do. And then you also have the disappointing Chicago Bears on the other side, firing their head coach. Their rookie sensation hasn't panned out the way they thought it was. Their receiving core and offense hasn't put up points the way they thought it was. They're not in their division, which is the most competitive division in all of the NFL, the way they thought they would be. Okay, they're bottom of the barrel. They're actually looking at another top 10 pick in the draft. So just a depressing game happened in the Chicago Bears on the road. I'm taking a lot of road teams this week. Too many for my liking. I think I have about 7 or 8 road teams picked, only 4 home teams. We have more matchups to talk about. We're going to LA and the Chargers. Actually, they're going to Kansas City. This is a matchup that is going to be a good one, okay? Division rivalry going down in Kansas City. And if I caught up Live Zone right now, I think we might have talked about it earlier. I think he has the Chargers upsetting the Chiefs this week. Listen, I don't know. It's Sunday Night Football. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Justin Herbert. It's the Chargers. You weigh your options out. You look at history. Does history repeat itself? Usually it does. Does the man with 3 Super Bowl rings and all the primetime wins and all the wins in distress and all the wins when they think that he's not going to perform the way he is, or their team isn't the way it is, or the best team it can be, or blah, 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 Patrick Mahomes still shows up like a classic Tom Brady persona. And, you know, Justin Herbert, he's a gunslinger. He's a savage. He's an accurate passer. And if he's on, he's on. And this is probably one of his most efficient seasons. Just like Josh Allen, not turning the ball over, throwing touchdown passes. Just always think in these games, Patrick Mahomes has his number. Now, that being said, I know it's going to be close. And the Chiefs have not been putting up points. I think the Chargers go out to a lead and end up losing this game. Losing their lead and losing this game. Final score 28-24, Kansas City at home over the LA Chargers. Lock it in. Let's see if it happens. We're happy just to watch football, okay? We got one more game. It's Monday night. Snooze fest. Shouldn't have been at the start of the season. You probably might have had this circle on the calendar at the beginning of the season. The Cincinnati Bengals are visiting the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Prime time Monday night. Let's get it. Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott? No. Joe Burrow, Cooper Rush. That's what you're getting. Cooper Rush throwing the ball 10 to 15 times to CeeDee Lamb, not getting any points and calling it a day. Joe Burrow throwing for over 304 TDs and scoring 30 and losing. That's what you're getting. So by that logic, give me the Bengals to blow out the Cowboys. They'll score over 30. We're putting it at 35-18. No, 35-17 on the day in Dallas. Bad year to be a Cowboys fan. Shout out Richie again. Somebody nobody knows, but I know he's watching the Cowboys, and I feel bad for you. It's just how the cookie crumbles. Okay, that's another week in the books. I think I went pretty good last week. I think I went around I don't know how many picks we did, but I think I only got 3 wrong. Hoping for another solid week this week. My bets hit last week. I was following along with everybody. So that's what you got to do to make these plays, okay? Shout out Rhythms. Shout out Sports Revolt. Shout out East Coast Sports Investors. Shout out Live Zone. Shout out X. Shout out the people behind the scenes. Shout out the in every single way, shape, or form. You can find me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. That's at Maserati1, okay? MAZZURATI, the number 1. Click to follow. I'll be spreading sports knowledge and saying things off the top of my head as I normally do. And as we normally do here, we just ask that you keep coming back, keep having laughs, keep keeping track, and always stay tuned.